It's Christmas, a time Christians all over the world celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. In the Christian world, the event commemorates a profound demonstration of God's love for mankind as he sends humanity as Saviour. The Church in the early 4th century fixed December the 25th as the date to celebrate the birth of Christ, while it is also observed as a public holiday in many countries of the world, including Nigeria. While Christmas is traditionally a Christian festival, it also observed culturally by many non-Christians. It is generally observed as a season of spreading love, peace and goodwill amongst mankind, with Christians showing gratitude to God for coming into the world in the form of a man to atone for the sins of humanity. And here in Nigeria, Christian faithful joined their counterparts in other parts of the world for the celebration. In the nation's capital, the primate of the Anglican Church, Most Reverend Nicholas Oko, is calling on Christians in the country to imbibe the spirit of giving as he warns against what he calls unnecessary accumulation of wealth. Speaking at a special Christmas service in Abuja, Bishop Oko calls on the government at all levels to formulate policies that will bring relief to Nigerians.
It's another Christmas celebration as Christian faithful gathered in different churches to celebrate the day.
The Jesusness in us must be seen.
The primate of the Anglican Church and Bishop of Abuja and the vicar of the All Saints Anglican Church advocate equity and justice.
Human condition, as we are in our country today, can be improved upon. So, whether in our personal capacities or members of the local government, members of the state government, members of the federal government, we can do more to improve human condition.
At this time of Christmas celebration also, it is expected that Christians should also learn how to give a helping hand to the needy and the poor.
At the All Christians Fellowship Mission, worshippers appreciate God for another Christmas as the General Overseer of the Church shares his thoughts on the Christmas celebration and the way forward for Nigeria.
People believe that once you occupy positions of influence, it is to amass wealth and exploit other people. But that is not what it's supposed to be. So we should all embrace the gospel, the light of Christ, so that it can change us from animalistic existence and bring us to a place where we behave like human beings.
The Archbishop of Dominion Chapel International Churches expresses confidence that peace will return to the country with the support of all Nigerians.
We don't have any other country to call our own. Nigeria is our own. And we must all join forces together to fight this monster called corruption. We must all join forces to fight the insecurity in our land. We must embrace each other. We must be each other's keepers.
Amidst songs of praise, Christians exchange pleasantries to signify the essence of the message of joy to the world.
And the same sentiment echoed in other parts of northern Nigeria, where this year's celebration was held in most parts without fear and anxiety. Our correspondent Amaka Okafo reports.
Christian faithful in Plateau State celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ without any security threats or anxiety as worshippers troop out to worship places. At the Church of Christ in Nations Corking headquarters in Jos, worshippers expressed gratitude to God with songs and praises for a peaceful celebration. President of the church, Reverend Datilom Datiri, enjoined Nigerians to express true love in the way they live for national growth and prosperity.
When you embrace the love of Jesus Christ, you live honestly, you live sincerely, you live with affection, you live with commitment, you live with dedication.
The relative peace being enjoyed in the state, the military says, is a reflection of the tolerance amongst the populace with the effort of security agencies in maintaining law and order, which has paved way for a peaceful celebration.
In the past, people have been hurt, people have gone through difficult times, but it is obvious that if we can learn to forgive, if we can learn to be more tolerant with each other, total peace will return.
However, worshippers in Damaturu, the Yobe state capital, are celebrating the event under tight security owing to regular attacks by Boko Haram insurgents in recent times. The residents call on relevant government authorities to improve the security architecture so that there will be freedom of worship and improve the economy.
We want the government to be more proactive in dealing with security issues. It should not be reluctant until when things begin to happen that government will now be on its own heels.
And in Kaduna State, Christians gathered in celebration of Christmas. Several churches across the state held special Thanksgiving services with songs and praises to God for making them witness the day. In his Christmas message to Christians, a priest of St. John Catholic Church, Reverend Father Magaji Pius, admonishes Christians and political leaders to abide by the teachings of Jesus Christ by showing love and humility to all manner of people, irrespective of their religion and tribal differences.
There is need for us to love one another and to do away with all the troubles and confusions that keeps dividing us.
On his path, the Bishop of Kaduna Anglican Diocese, Most Reverend Timothy Yahaya, called on those in authority to respect the rule of law and fundamental rights of all citizens, even as he commends the government for the release of former National Security Advisor Colonel Sambo Dasuki and human rights activist Omoyele Sowore from detention.
We as leaders should see ourselves meeting the need of the common man. One of the oxygen of democracy is the rule of law. We must not select court orders we will obey and those who will not obey.
These Christians across Nigeria will be hoping to gather again in churches next year to celebrate Christmas, the birth of Jesus Christ. Amaka Okafu, Channels Television News.
And here in Lagos, Christian faithful in Nigeria have been asked to live in peace while exhibiting the virtues of Jesus Christ. This formed the crux of the sermons delivered at some churches during the Christmas celebrations.
Hymns celebrating the birth of the Savior, Jesus Christ, is a major part of the Christmas service at Our Saviour's Church, Tafawa Balewa, Lagos. Shortly before the message, congregants exchanged pleasantries in the spirit of love. Then a message with the crux as Emmanuel, God with us. And at the Cathedral Church of Christ, Marina, Lagos, a priestly procession makes its way in. Faithful also gather to worship here on Christmas morning, amongst whom is the Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. The admonition is no different. The preacher charges Nigerians to live in love.
Let me tell us that love is a bond. Forgiveness restores any broken bond. But reconciliation ensures that the restored broken bond is kept and continually saved. In the coming years, let there be love, Let there be forgiveness, and let there be true reconciliation.
Governor Sanwo-Olu also asked Nigerians to imbibe the character of Christ.
Let's understand that even while we're doing our celebration, let's do it with modesty. Let's do it with a lot of decorum. And let's understand that it's also a period for us, to remain peaceful.
As the service winds down, many hope that the message of peace, love and forgiveness, which the birth of Christ exemplifies, will not be lost on all.
It's pretty much the same sentiment in southwest states of Ogun and Ondo State, where similar services were held. The Ogun State Governor, Dapo Abiodun, is asking Christians to live their lives just like that of Christ.
The governor of Ogun State, Dapo Abiodun, and his wife, Bamidele, joined other Christian faithful at a special church service to celebrate the birth of Christ. The governor encourages believers across the country to follow the teachings and examples of Christ.
I want to remind everyone that Christ is the reason for this season, and we should endeavor to be Christ-like, not just in this season, but throughout the next year. And I pray that God answers all our prayers and gives us a more fulfilling 2020 in Jesus' mighty name.
Meanwhile, in Ondo State, songs were rendered to celebrate the reason for the season, Jesus Christ. And prayers were also offered.
Christians should be a symbol of unity, love, and kindness to everyone. And we are all called to change the face of the earth, to make the world a better place, and to show the beauty of the one that is born to us today.
As they have celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ, let them celebrate, let you yourself exchange your way. Any wrong way, any wrong life you are living before, you have to change it. And let that Christ be born in your life newly.
As Christians commemorate the birth of Christ all over the world, one call continues to resonate: the need to reflect and be more like Christ.